please. Dear Heavenly Father, we again reach out to you for your help. Grant us strength, faith, and the willingness to always make the proper and the correct decisions to benefit all our village residents. Also, in view of the current coronavirus pandemic, we are asking your help and blessing in protecting West Virginia residents, but are more concerned especially for all our Bethlehem families. Also, it seems just recently that we've had a lot of problems crop up, and it's kind of very discouraging, and we hope we can address these little problems that keep cropping up. And I think a lot of it is the way a lot of people live. Anyway, to conclude things, I want to say thanks be to God for all that you do for us. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, in liberty and justice for all. Mac, you want to call the roll, please?
Councilman Otten.
Here.
Councilman Bishop.
Here.
Councilman Hershuk.
Here.
Councilman Henry.
Here.
Mayor Junkins.
Here.
Councilman Sassine.
Here.
Recorder Sassine. Here. Councilman Snyder.
Here. Okay, we have before you the minutes of our February 16, 2021 meeting. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Second. Okay, are there any questions on the motion? If there be no questions on the motions or on the minutes, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried, thank you. Matt, back to you.
The only thing tonight, Mayor, is the next council meeting will be held on Monday, March 15th, 2021 at 8 p.m.
Okay. And tonight we don't have any accountant's report. We will next meeting on the 15th. We'll slide over into the mayor's report. You did get a flyer in your council pack reminding the council that there's a scheduled budget workshop meeting for next Monday, the 8th, at 7 p.m. here in the village office. An update on our road salt for village roadways. As mentioned at our February 16 council meeting, we received 2 truckloads on one on February 12 and the other on February 15, respectively. Then on the 22nd, February 22, we received 1 truckload from J.W. Stenger Trucking, approximately 15 tons. I have 1 more truckload scheduled for possibly next week for another load from Stenger. The cost of this road salt has been covered by previous council motions. Hopefully we are covered for this winter season. We still have an ample supply there, and hopefully the snow stays away. Our Sugar Lane water line replacement project is still in process, but has been interrupted because of the extreme cold weather. This past Friday, February 26th, and Saturday, 27th, our village road crew had to address not only a water leak, but a sanitary sewer problem. Both problems happened at the same time on Saturday, the 27th. A boil order was issued to the local media to cover this affected area. some miscellaneous projects. One of the things that's on our drawing board and was started, but one time permits, the excess dirt piles at Village Drive Ball Field parking lot is slowly being worked on, as I said, as time permits. The tree trimming along the roadway in the Macaulay Estates is still on the worksheet, time permitting. Ben has probably approximately 30 projects item on his work schedule chalkboard, in addition to other concerns, jobs that are telephoned into the office daily. Right now, there's a little time to clean up our garage area also. You ought to see Ben's board. I think thought mine had a lot of things on. Anyway, on February 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, our street crew members, Aaron Foster, Robinson Pipe Clean, worked on the sanitary sewer problems on our Maple Lane sewer pump station. It seems we still have some residents placing items such as wipes, masks, and other matter that does not belong in our sewer system. Also, there was even a baseball found. A letter was sent to all residents on Maple Lane advising what not to put in their sewer system. And conversing with Ben here recently, a little more insight as to what goes on in the Maple Lane lift station, but Sugar Lane drains down there. You've got Maple Lane, and then you got Bee Haven that pumps over there. So Maple Lane is a quite a collector. Everything goes through the Maple Lane lift station. The Maple Lane pumps were plugged up with foreign material, and we had to replace both pump motors. We had to have a lot of top water pumped out before Robinson could get in with the high pressure pump before it was activated. A lot of extra work by all concerned. The two motors are being sent out for repairs. So we have two spares right now, right, Ben? Okay. They're to be picked up tomorrow morning locally, and I talked to them today, the repair shop, and told them we need to, turn those things around because those are our spares and we put our spares in. Also, Ben's going to elaborate more on details on this whole situation here. The two motors are being out for repairs. The new motor has been priced at
$7,500.
about $7,100. They're not cheap. Anywhere they're between $7,000 and $8,000. At the same time, we had a blocked up sanitary sewer line behind the properties along 104 and 106 Ridgecrest. If you're familiar with that area, that's where there's a pull off. It's right across on the back side to Poplar Lane. One of the neighbors called me and said, hey, there's something going on over the hill there, because that pull off there, that property is owned by the village. And what happened years ago when they put the sanitary sewer system in, that particular lot was not included in our drawings and everything. So the village had to end up buying that property. So it goes downhill. There's rocks down there and everything. It's not an ideal terrain to work on. And they worked on it 2 days. In fact, that was on Saturday and Sunday. That area, it was not related to our Maple Lane sanitary sewer lift system. We had Aaron Foster, who is from Marshall County. He does work on the side, and he's been very helpful to us. He pumped off the water on the top before Robinson's high pressure pump was applied. This job is very difficult because of the location down over the hill in the woods. Lucky for us, as I said, a neighbor had discussed the problem and gave us a call, and that could have been going on for a long time if the neighbor hadn't called us, and we might not have found out so soon. Also, the last thing I wanted to mention, I put a copy of the bit on your, but one we sent out the council packs, all I had on there was the police identified body of found near river. That's down on the walking trail there at the riverfront. And then the bit appeared in Sunday's paper. It was too late, so I wanted a copy to you. But I want to just mention on a sad note, I had Matt include an article in the Wheeling and Tell, which had appeared on February 23, which was titled "Police Identify Body Near River." prior to the obituary that appeared in Wheeling's News Register Sunday paper that we got on Saturday, I was advised the deceased neighbor the deceased was my neighbor, Brandon C. Snyder, who resides on Orchard Lane with his mother, brother, and nephew. There are many residents in Bethlehem that knew Brandon. He was always out walking our streets and roads. He also performed odd jobs for our residents, such as grass cutting, snow shoveling, and other odd jobs. This is an event and a tragedy and a shock, especially to me, because I was very familiar and I knew Brandon. And so far, a cause of death has not been announced, but his death was very unexpected. I'm sure you might have all seen him around town here, so to speak. And I had told the police he's harmless, and he just needs help at times. And I gave him a flap jacket. I don't know if it was the orange one or the ring one. And I told him because he always walked on Ridgecrest Road, but he did walk against traffic, as I told him. Well, he walked, he walked a little bit during the day, but he walked mostly late in the afternoon and nighttime. And a couple times I was coming by on Ridgecrest, and when you got lights coming in your eyes from oncoming vehicles, I thought I saw a flash one time, and actually it was Brandon. And of course I wasn't going that fast and reacted and was able to go around him. But a lot of times when during the day he'd be out walking. That's what he liked to do most of his life. I've seen him over at the Zion Grace Church there, laying in the grass there, several different places. And then he'd be over at Grisel's, the State Farm, and he'd be laying on the ground. And of course then the fire department and the police get calls, and he just, when he was tired, he laid down, I guess. And I think that's might be what happened to him when he was walking. I didn't know he went clear down to Wheeling, but he got around different places. He would get down to the Grove all the time. He'd be at YMCA. In fact, I didn't know he was a member there, but I knew that I was told that he went in there. He'd get out of McDonald's, and one day I saw him coming back up the hill on Bethlehem Boulevard East there. He had a white bag. It was pizza. He had worked that day, and he went down there to get a pizza for his mother and his brother, and he was just on his way back up home. But he's just, and he did some grass cutting for me, and that's one of the reasons I worked with him, and I know Steve got to know him because Steve saw him over there where he was cutting grass, and it's just it's a shock to me. You know, it's just like we've lost some close people here, and I don't know, but it's going to let up. I wish it would. Anyway, let's move on here. Other officers' reports. Do you have anything, TC?
I have nothing tonight, Mayor.
Okay. And as far as the police chief report goes, we had on your chair tonight the February 2021 police report for the month. If you didn't get a copy, I've got an extra copy, but I think you did. Parks and Recreation. Do you have anything, Aaron?
Yeah, so I had a meeting with Aaron earlier this week. We just need to decide, hopefully tonight, what we're doing about the steak fry and the 4th of July. I think it's American Fireworks is who supplies our fireworks. I think that's what she said. They called. They were asking her when we want to do it. The 4th of July is on a Sunday this year, and I think they're booked. But they offered us Friday or Saturday. Saturday is when Ogilvy has theirs. So it's really up to us whether we want to try and compete with Ogilvy to have less of a crowd, or if we wanted to do it Friday night. I think we did that a couple years ago. So that's the first thing that needs discussed.
Okay, I wanted to mention this, what you just mentioned here. A couple things about the park. I want council to be thinking between now and the next council meeting what you want to do in the park this summer as far as events. I don't know, did Erin say anything, and I forgot to ask her today, how many reservations have been made for the shelter up there?
She didn't say how many. She said she's got a good amount, but we can't cash in on those yet because we don't know if people are going to cancel in a month or two, because I know last year there were a lot of last minute cancellations because of COVID. And she said, even though we have those reservations and the half deposit now, it's kind of like we have the deposit, but we can't touch it because we don't know if those events are going to be canceled or not.
You know, basically, we returned, and she made contact with all the people that had made reservations. And I think there was only just a handful that actually had their party there, or their event. But that's a big moneymaker for the park fund and everything. And I didn't know how far she's going, and that's another thing that I would like to have input from council as to what they want to do. Now, she put the folder of the fireworks on my desk, and a note, American Fireworks called today. That was back on February 24. Normally we have done this in the past in the month of January, but because of the virus, this is causing, you know, problems, rescheduling and doing things. So this is something that I'd like to have input from council to guide our park committee. Or do we want to do that? Now, last year we fronted 50% of the funds to them. The show was worth $4,400, and it says less than 25%. I don't know if they gave us a discount, but anyway, we paid them $2,200. So then when we canceled the show because of things, they kept $1,100, and then they say they have credit for this year for $1,100. But yes, this American Fireworks, they do Ogilvy's, and they do a lot of others in this area, and that's the reason they want to get their shows, their schedule set up, and rightly so. These guys they're good. They performed in the past. I know a few years back I met the guys, and they were very attentive, and they did a good job. But I can appreciate them wanting to get their schedule set up. We never want to run against the city of Wheeling. Ogilvy, sometimes we had at the same time as Ogilvy did, and I think they were doing some down the river, Benwood and McMicken, or maybe Glendale. I'm not sure where all they were. But anyway, what I'm concerned with is about Bethlehem. But again, let's be thinking about this between now and the next meeting, because we gotta get set up here. Also, along maybe the park area, years ago we used to get people that had to serve community service from the High County Sheriff's Department. Well, you'd get them up here, and then we'd have to take one of our employees and tell them what to do and stay with them all the time, because they'd be sitting down and smoke a cigarette. Actually, if they had 4 hours to do or 6 hours to do, you're probably lucky to get 2 hours of work out of them. But I got a note from a resident of Macaulay Estates today, and I was jumping here. Coming up the Bethlehem Boulevard East the other day, I was looking at the roadside, and it's just filled with litter. You know, all the normal stuff, the McDonald's hamburger wrappers, the cold drink cups, and plastic bottles, beer cans, and everything. I don't know, the people that do this, I don't know what society are they living in. We live, I think, amongst a lot of dirt bags or something, but why can't they keep that in their vehicle, and when they get home, put it in a trash can? So, but anyway, to make the point that in Macaulay Estates, one of the residents called and wanted to know if this could be cleaned up. And I just wondered if council knows of any good group like Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, or somebody that we could equip with the necessary gloves, bags, and the picks to pick this stuff up, if we could get them to do the roadway up to Macaulay Estates. So I'm open for suggestion there. One of the things right now, if we went and borrowed people that had community service work to serve, you got the pandemic. You got to deal with that. So it makes it a little more difficult. Also, Aaron, ask Aaron, and I might see her before you do, but the small shelter, what's the status of that? She had people doing volunteer work, and we're, You know, this is the time of year to get that done, not in the middle of summer. And I'd like to find out what needs done, if these people are gonna do it. If not, I'd like to see about getting someone to get it done, so we'll have it ready if we're gonna be renting any things, you know, having any events, because we used to rent that all the time, but it's been shut down for about the last year and a half, so.
Sure, yeah, no, I don't know anything
Yeah.
about that.
Well, that's something new to you.
We have a Parks and Rec meeting I think it's Wednesday the 10th. I was hoping tonight to get an answer about maybe fireworks so we could schedule, because American Fireworks was saying the sooner the better because they are filling up. I was hoping to get an answer tonight about maybe that Friday the 2nd, Saturday the 3rd, and I think Sunday the 4th is out already.
What are those dates again, Aaron?
It would be Friday the 2nd of July,
Okay,
Saturday the 3rd, which is when Ogilvy has theirs,
okay.
and Sunday is the 4th, but it's out.
Okay,
So-
the only thing about making a decision tonight, we might be back in the same, because they'll want a down
That's not
payment.
gonna change between now and 2 weeks from now.
Well, the governor's supposed to make some restriction openings on Friday.
Yeah, he's reopening everything Friday. He's gonna go 100% back to restaurants, outdoor.
Well,
And also what Aaron told me is this company, if we give half down for that date and we cannot do it or something comes up, she said that company allows us to use them for another time.
Right.
well, they kept $1,100, and then they put $1,100 aside for future,
Sure,
yeah.
yeah.
So I don't like to see us lose money again, you know, if it has to cancel, so. I mean, I don't want to know what the council
No,
wants to do.
it's in,
We didn't lose it.
it's
We
been
got it.
credited.
We didn't lose any, the 1,100, we get a credited, our full down payment was credited back for the next show, or half of the full.
Well, the way I read this slip is,
So we
America,
put down 22.
we put down 22, and they
Okay.
kept 11.
Right.
And then they put 11
Oh.
for the next time. So
Yeah, so we lost $1,100.
Well, I would ask them for a full refund on this time,
Well,
if,
I could be wrong, but I feel like the way Aaron was explaining it was, last year, since we canceled, they told us, you can still use your deposit, full deposit, towards another show, but we decided not to use them for the rest of the year. So I'm pretty sure we lost that deposit because we did
Okay.
not use it.
yeah.
Well, we need to get that clarified, Aaron.
So the
I think
44 that we would pay this year is really gonna be 33 because we've got an $1,100 credit.
Correct, if that's still the.
So you're really still washing out even.
We can't stand to lose the 11 again. We give our down payments back. I understand they gotta prepare and all, but they did, you know, it's just kinda,
Okay, well,
I say
whatever
we
council wants to
could
do,
pick the
let's,
date, tell them we want it, but we could also show our concern of, you know, I mean, I don't know. If
Well,
I-
sure, if we could pick a date tonight, like I said, I have a meeting on Wednesday the 10th with Erin. I'll talk to her before that, and hopefully by that meeting, we can have all this for sure. Hey, if we do have to cancel, I don't see it canceling if restaurants are at 75% capacity now and restrictions are getting looser, especially since it's an outdoor event. But we can have that figured out by the 10th and by the next meeting. But if we could pick a date tonight, that would be helpful for us.
Agreed.
okay, let's go, on Friday the 2nd, who all is booked up for that date? Did you get that?
I don't know. who
Okay,
else
what
is
about
booked
Saturday?
that day. I know Ogilvy is having theirs Saturday.
Saturday's Ogilvy, okay. Okay, and then
That's
Sun,
what I'm thinking. That way we don't have to compete with Ogilvy.
is there anybody on Sunday that would,
Wheeling.
That's Wheeling.
Wheelings, okay.
Sunday's all booked up. We were.
Okay, that's fine. Well, we don't like to go at the same time they do, Wheeling does theirs.
Let's do Friday.
Okay, when would a rain date be then?
What
Fall
count,
of the week.
what does council want to do? You want to pick a date to give to Aaron so he can,
Right, Mark?
guess if a rain date even would be a week later, something, Don.
Something would, I think we've had fireworks on the 9th before.
Yeah, we had one that had rain and everything, but they're pretty good about the rain date. They will
Right.
tell you we can do it such and such time, and you pick a date out.
Yeah, even if it's the week after for a rain day.
Now Friday, people would have to get done work. We couldn't have like an all-day thing. I don't know what, it really hasn't, well, it has been like that, sorta. Started late
Well, we
noon
don't
or
do the
something.
parade anymore. So they usually start around 5 o'clock. You go 5 to dark.
Yeah.
So you could just adjust it from 6 to dark and hope that you get a couple extra food trucks. People take advantage of that and make that their dinner, and they spend a little extra money in the park, and it's a good thing.
Does the guy still have his inflatables, John?
Yeah.
Is he still in business?
Yeah.
Would you guys welcome him back if he could do it? If it's within the guidelines?
I don't see why not either. I mean, I'll bring that up.
Well, they-
Like you said, as long as it's in the guidelines. But who knows where we'll be in July?
Right.
It could
Will
be
that
so
be-
much better.
Will that be an efficient amount of time on a Friday? For everyone, get the food trucks in, whatever time they show up, or if he shows up?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's evening. Say
Food trucks will come the night
yeah.
before. They'll
Yeah.
come the evening before and get set up
Prepare.
and parked and everything.
Yeah.
Well, the bar
Tank,
takes
the
usually come
JK
the day
tank
before.
takes about an hour to set up.
Right.
They usually come a day before the bar.
Let's go for Friday then.
Okay.
We've got stable electric for them out there now.
Right, that's true.
Okay. All right. I have one more thing, and then.
You need a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did somebody make a motion?
I make the motion to have it Friday, July 2nd.
Okay,
Second.
okay. Okay, there's been a motion on the floor. Any question on the motion? All those in favor of Friday, July 2, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same side. Motion carried. Okay, that's when we'll do it.
Okay. The only other thing to think about is the steak fry. Aaron wanted me to ask about that too. Are we gonna try and have it?
That's, I'd like to have all events, this.
Well, I would too.
But we gotta go with the flow, so to speak, do what things safe.
You know, I think with that park situation, you have to go with schedule everything. If you can't do them, give the people their refunds.
Right.
Set a certain day before, which you're gonna, 2 days before, whatever it be. Same with the steak fry, go with it. If we have to cancel it, everybody understands.
Yeah. Right. No, I agree.
Just go as normal, return the refunds, and I say do the steak fry.
That's what I figured.
I can tell you there's a
Week's notice.
Yeah.
I'll have everything cut, all the potatoes done, all the salads done. I just need 7 days.
Yeah. We'll let you know.
Yeah, I just need to order the steaks and get them in from Cisco, and the potatoes and salads, and then have a night to get them cut, and then have a day to get them delivered. I need 7 days. So if
That's
we make a
okay.
decision 7 days out that we're gonna cancel, it's fine. We don't lose anything on food.
Yeah, there's so many people that have asked, are you gonna have a steak fry this year? It's the unknown, but I think,
First Saturday in June.
I think we would get quite a turnout because people are antsy, they wanna get out, and they missed it the last year,
Agreed.
so.
Well, and that's what Aaron and I were talking about too, is just how to do it safe. We were talking about if we make the decision to have it for sure, that'll give us ample time. She was talking about renting like those large canopies, just so we could even spread picnic tables out further. So there's more room for social distancing and people aren't on top of each other.
Yeah.
The weather's nice. You can do it in a baseball field.
Right.
Put up tables in a baseball field.
So
Aaron, how about, did she mention a day?
It's always the first Saturday. in
first
June.
Saturday, I think it's
Saturday in
June 5th.
We don't need a motion for that, correct?
I don't think so, let's do some planning to see how far we get along, but, okay, we're talking about Saturday, June the 6th, so.
Fifth. 5.
5th?
Yes.
I thought about 2nd, you said, okay. Okay. Anyway, if anybody knows of any, maybe some youth group or something that wants to pick up the trash for us on Macaulay Estates Road, how about giving us a call at the office? Or
Mayor, if I can add to that, on the trash pickup, a few years ago when Tim Bishop was mayor, he did a trash cleanup, but he used older kids from Wheeling Central as a project for a confirmation or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be some group that
And
people
I
willing
just
to.
happened to be a policeman working that day, and I kept the cruiser on the road, kept the people down, but they found dirty needles. So, and he turned them over to me. I deposited them properly. But my point being, think of the age group. If you
Yeah,
want
Boy
these
Scouts
kids,
aren't a good idea.
how little to how big. These were all teenage boys. It was all boys. It was no girls, I don't think.
I can't remember.
But think about, for all of us, what age group we're talking about
Yeah.
that you're going to look at.
Well, that's the
when you
reason I
stuff
wanted
up.
suggestions from
Yeah.
council. You know, the two heads are thicker than one, principal, so you guys know different things, and that's why.
Central did it once for us one year, and then Southwest Energy volunteered. They did like their
Section down
corporate offices did a volunteer day, and there were 20, 30 of them. We did both sides of 29th Street Hill another day. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Amy
Great if
Dobkin
we could
would
get a
be
bunch of them garbage picker upper things so
Yeah.
nobody has to handle anything.
We have all that stuff here.
And we give them a little tutorial, don't pick up any needles or anything you think is, I mean, geez.
3 we found that day.
Yeah, and I put them in a plastic bottle to dispose of them. But I'm thinking a little kid picks up, what's this?
Yeah, you can't have a little
No.
kid doing
Yeah.
this.
I wasn't thinking towards those knees. I was thinking of the paper.
It surprised
Yeah.
me too.
Oh,
It
yeah.
surprised me.
If you started picking up, you'd find a lot of things. Okay. Okay. We're done with Parks and Recreation now.
Yeah, that's all I have this
Okay,
evening.
thank you. How about police, Bobby?
I don't
Anything? Okay. Roads and streets, Tommy and Steve.
I think they're doing a good job on the road and street.
How about maybe sometime this month we get together and pick out, go over your hit list to where you're looking at this year, because it's good to. I'd like to maybe get this advertised and get a contract set up in April. That way we could tell them when we want it done. We'll get ahead of the so-called rush. But see, there's a lot of municipalities that maybe spent all the money on road paving and everything, and they're waiting for the new budget to kick in after July 1. But we can, based on what we see in the weather and what we have to do, we can project the time. Like last time, they told us they could probably do it in June or something. Well, it started getting hot in June. Well, the ideal weather is in September, and it worked out good for us. You got the warm days and the cool nights. The cool nights helps the asphalt set up. So, but anyway, that's.
Okay, we can look into it.
Tim, water, anything on water?
Nothing this evening, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Zoning, Mark?
Nothing this evening.
Okay,
I did make that call for you, nothing, so
okay.
we'll wait till there's something.
Yeah, you got to do your homework first before.
Yeah.
Okay. Maintenance supervisor Ben, you got some things you wanted to talk about. Why don't you pull your mask down so we can hear you? So
I almost stepped far away from everybody and do that.
Toward me.
Yeah, here, plenty of space. The reason I came tonight is at the beginning of April we're going to be looking at our next allotment of these meters coming up to stay on schedule with keeping us finishing by the end of this year, buying and keeping that price that they gave us. Now we have all those endpoints, those first 300 endpoints back here, and I have everybody trained on how to install them, and we are going to be starting that this week, and believe that the entire team is confident we can have it installed within a matter of a couple of weeks, in and out of other projects that will take priority. So I'm just kind of giving everybody a whole month to process the fact that this is coming up again. And in order to keep up with this schedule that they've set for us and keeping this price that they knocked off, I think it was something like 20 grand to get our business, that I want to make sure that we don't lose out on that graciousness by dragging our feet. If anybody has questions about the maple situation, we are still in the thick of it. Tomorrow we're installing an apparatus to be able to pull those pumps out ourselves without having to get equipment down there, and we have to pull them and clean them out again. We have found an incredible amount of debris in this particular lift station lately. Disposable masks, wipes, towels, contraceptives, baseballs, you name it, it's been in there. And we've bought a pool skimmer just so that I could get somebody down there every couple of days and try and keep the top of it cleaned off. This is just what we're battling right now, and we're still not out of it, but we are doing the best that we can do. So if you hear anybody happen to bring this up, or you're getting complaints from anybody about something, we are probably already aware of it and well into trying to fix it. This is something we're trying to do mostly in-house to keep our costs down. These companies that you call in, like Robinsons, yeah, they're great for jetting, but they cost $100 or $1,500 just to leave their warehouse and drive down here, whether they do any work or not. So, just letting you know that we're on top of it, I guess. If anybody has any questions, I'm open to answer.
Ben, where did we buy those special pumps that when they cut through this stuff?
We
For the
bought
other-
them from Barnes.
Westgate, right?
Yeah, well, it was Winifred Knoll,
Winifred.
and we have yet to have a problem over there. I'm not really that superstitious, but honestly, it's been a nice pump, and they did a real nice job installing them. But their pumps are more expensive than these $7,500 pumps that we've been getting from Mars on Trumbold. They're somewhere in the ballpark of around $9,000. But they came and did a demonstration for us several months back, and watched it eat through baseball bats. So
But for another $1,500 per pump, you get the better pump.
it is. I would say absolutely, it's a better pump. So I'm not here to push pumps on you guys.
Well, I mean, we're looking at constantly fighting this problem, you know.
Yeah, it would actually save money, actually.
Yeah.
Well, these pumps we have now are set with a fail-safe in them to try and shut themselves off before they overheat, which is cost-effective when it works. And it doesn't always work, but it has with some of these. We've been able to clean out and drop some back in, and they worked fine. Other ones never seem to work right, and we pulled those. That's why we have 2 going out to Woodward Armature right now. So it works and it doesn't. So
And we'll look at the Winifred Knoll, there was only a handful of people over there. There was one house, we knew who it was, but we sent a letter to all of them, so we didn't discriminate to say what you can't do. This, over Maple Lane, you've got so many houses feeding that, and I don't know if it's someone trying to get back to the village, doing what they're.
2 sides of Maple that drop down into that lift station. You have Bee Haven, and then it pumps up and over the hill to join up with Ridgecrest. Actually, us freeing up the lift station caused a bigger problem behind that 104 before we were able to fix that problem. So it's all connected.
They're sized properly though for that amount of homes.
The pumps themselves are sufficient for what they're supposed to do, but they're asking them to work hard to get that amount of fluid as far as it needs to. Like it sits easily 150 feet or more from the roadway on Maple down over the hill, and is asked to pump up past our water tower to get to rejoin Ridgecrest. So I mean, that's a substantial distance. So they work hard to get things where they go. Like I'm surprised we don't replace them more often, but lately the amount of debris and matter that we have found in there that shouldn't be is
That's the
kind of
problem.
staggering.
The pumps are significant size. I mean, they're big enough.
Oh, absolutely. They're 250
It's just,
pounds.
you can't
They
ask
stand
pumps to
3
eat
feet tall.
baseballs.
One of the other nice things too, the 2 motors at Bee Haven and the 2 motors at Maple, they're interchangeable.
Right.
So we have that interchangeability. So, but it services a lot more area than, just Winifred Knoll though.
Westgate also has.
The problem is, I think the thing.
And Westgate's throwing them, I mean, that's longer than Maple.
It's probably more the matter than it
Yes.
is the distance.
It is, and it's probably one person doing it.
It's probably
I can't imagine a bunch of people doing that same thing over there.
We basically need to find out who's doing what to do us in.
I would say that's a goose chase. Right there.
Yeah, we'd have to
You
bombard
could
them with
speculate
letters
forever,
again,
but you
and
can't,
almost-
without the ability to literally prove anything, we can't.
Yeah, we would have to bombard them with letters, almost to the point where like, hey, we know it's this group, you know, come on, and without pointing anyone out.
Well, I'd like to send
We don't
letters
know
out
anyway.
to Beehaven, Maple, and Sugar Lane.
Send them every month, save us $500 times 2.
Well, last time I said something, we don't wanna raise the sewer rates.
No,
That'll be the last thing.
refurbishments are less, obviously. They cost probably about half of the cost of a new pump. And they tend to work as well. So, I mean, you got that going for you too. We don't have to turn around and buy new pumps all the time. They can rebuild these motors locally. So we're not waiting, like Trombold's got a 5-week lead time on any new pumps right now. So, I mean, even if we wanted one, you wouldn't see it till sometime in the middle of April.
It's gonna be a never-ending problem to the end of time, unless we come up with a better design someday. And
Anytime you need pumps, pumps are gonna break.
that's right. It's just a get used to it sort of thing.
It's a mechanical thing.
Okay, thanks, man.
Thank you, Ben.
I'd like to move into old business. Is there any old business that needs to come before council tonight? Old business, unfinished, okay. Under new business, I'd like to, again, one of the things that I'd like to send this piece of paper around. The High County Commission called and they were wanting to know the emails for our council people. Well, the first thing I want to do is, I have a listing here of the different council people and everything. I wanted to pass this around, and I'd need to get your permission to give them this information. And if you have the email address, you can put it on this sheet. So,
Tell them I'll give them mine when we get our water check.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah.
if you want to pass that around, but, yeah, I just, if you have email and you want it put on, and it's okay to use your name and address, I'd like to know that. Also, while you're passing that around, I have a letter from the county commission here, and I'll read it. On behalf of the county commission, I would like to give you the opportunity to share your long-term planning goals. The commission would like for you to submit your top 3 to 5 financial priorities, projects that the community, that your community is discussing. And then they want to submit this to the council. So I'd like to do some brainstorming here, say between now and next meeting, you know, if you got, you know, a worthwhile project or something that you want me to submit to them, I'll be gladly to do so. I found my quotation that Ben was talking about here on the replacement. It's an EBAR, 15 horsepower pump. The price today is $73.76. I can remember when they used to be around $5,000, but that's the price today for a new one. I forget, we just had Warwood repair one, and I forget what the cost was on that. Do you remember, Ben, what that repair cost, did I tell you?
I don't.
I'll dig it out and everything to have it, so. Anyway, is there anybody got some new business that they want to bring up before council tonight?
With the county commission is soliciting requests for long-term planning and projects.
Yeah.
There's a lot of projects to be done here, water, sewer, and those are the expensive ones.
Yes.
So certainly I would think maybe you ought to put together a committee or something, I mean, to come up with the projects. Because if you could get $100,000 for a project over a period of 3 years, you could do a lot of water line replacement up here, a lot of sewer line, whatever needs done. I don't do the administrative part. You and former Mayor Bishop would know what needs done, or what may be done, or what's should be done and to enhance neighborhoods.
Okay, well, see,
I wouldn't take that request lightly. I mean, I'd have people on it and submit exactly what you plan.
Okay, well, that's the reason I'm asking council to you're part of council, submit ideas, so thank you to them.
Even a police cruiser would work.
Yep.
There's all kind of things. That's a great idea. You should get some guys together and make some suggestions for
Right.
council.
You guys know what's needed and what's
Yes.
gonna be needed. Not something to pass over lightly. We know they have money.
Any other suggestions while we're thinking out loud here? Okay. Well, think about it between now and next meeting, and if we add a few to the list there. Keep these notes. Okay, if there be no further business to come before council under new business, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries.